Christmas is definitely closing in, so I'm back with one of our quickest and easiest holiday recipes to make a peppermint mocha. Let's get started. We're going to start out by making the peppermint syrup. The syrup recipe is very simple and takes only 4 ingredients. For step 1, we'll need 1 cup of water and 1 cup of granulated sugar. Begin by taking a small or medium saucepan and pour in your 1 cup of water. Then add in the 1 cup of granulated sugar. Next, put your stovetop on medium heat. Now, stir the water and sugar mixture while you bring it to a low boil. Keep stirring occasionally to make sure it heats evenly. And here's how mine looked after 2 minutes of heating. And after 5 minutes on medium heat, it was boiling. I started with my water pretty cold, but it could take you a little bit more or a little bit less time depending on the temperature of your water and the heating temperature. Either way, once it gets to this point, it's time to reduce the heat and let it simmer on low heat for 5 minutes. Once the mixture has simmered for 5 minutes, you can turn off the stovetop. Make sure to completely remove the saucepan from heat. And now it's time for the final ingredients. 1 teaspoon of peppermint extract and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Remember, the saucepan is still very hot. Carefully add in the 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, then carefully add in the 1 teaspoon of peppermint extract. Then stir it all together to mix evenly. And now you've done it! Your peppermint syrup is ready to go. You should end up with around 1 cup of syrup. We'll only need 2 to 3 tablespoons of syrup for our mocha recipe, but you can store the rest for later in the fridge in an airtight container. It'll stay good for 2 to 3 weeks. While I'm bottling the syrup, it's time for our quick goose fact. Did you know that the goose that leads the flying V formation is not always the same goose? They take turns so that the leader can take a rest. Now that's what I call good teamwork. Now let's get back to the recipe. Now that we have the syrup ready, let's make the mocha. Making the actual mocha is also simple. We'll need the syrup that we just created. We'll also need unsweetened cocoa powder. We'll need a double shot of espresso, or some people use a half cup of strongly brewed coffee. And we'll need 1 cup of milk or a non-dairy alternative. And the final optional ingredients include whipped cream and crushed candy cane pieces. We'll start out by using the syrup we just made. Place 2 tablespoons of peppermint syrup in your mug of choice. You can use 3 if you want a sweeter latte, but 2 is perfect for me. Now it's time to add the unsweetened cocoa powder that makes this drink a mocha versus a latte. Add 1 tablespoon on top of the syrup. Now it's time to brew a couple shots of espresso. If you don't have an espresso machine, no worries, you can also use a half cup of strongly brewed coffee. I went ahead and sped this part up, but I never get tired of watching it. Once your espresso is ready, add it to your chosen mug. We've added 3 powerful ingredients, but we still have a couple steps left to go. The next step is to heat 1 cup of milk or non-dairy alternative. I happen to use skim milk, but you can also use whole milk, oat milk, or whatever your preference is. Heat the milk until it's steaming. You can use a milk steamer or frother like I did, or you can use a small saucepan. If you heat on a stovetop, make sure to stir it every once in a while to make sure it heats evenly. Once your milk is steaming hot, carefully add it to your chosen mug. I always love this part. Finally, stir everything together to make sure it's mixed. Your mocha is technically complete at this point, but I suggest adding a couple optional ingredients. These ingredients are whipped cream and crushed up bits of candy cane. As you can see, it adds that special touch of holiday spirit that enhances the appearance, flavor, and the entire experience. This peppermint mocha is like Christmas in a mug. This recipe is so popular because it's quick and simple, and we have enough syrup left over to make many more future mochas. Now that we finished this peppermint mocha, it's time to check out another holiday favorite, our chestnut praline latte. I'll see you there.